editing, but you know.
Nah, it's all good.
And good evening, and good afternoon, good morning, wherever you happen to be. This is Teus.
You
Murat.
screwed up the intro.
Hang on.
And now, the weather.
Good evening, wherever you happen to be. This is Teus Murat.
Nixon 77. And True Kravan's here, but he's eating at the moment.
Either that or he's just been quiet because he's, you know...
No, he's eating, I can hear it.
Well, yeah,
I thought I had to be quiet because I was just a special guest.
He is here as a special guest, and the reason being, for those of you that tune in, this is the second of the Grumpy Old Gamers podcast.
Yes.
We have had to make a slight modification due to parental guidance issues. Instead of doing Mortal Kombat tonight and Final Fantasy next, we'll actually be doing Final Fantasy tonight and Mortal Kombat next. And yes, we do have Kravan along, because if there's one person that can match me for Final Fantasy knowledge and passion, it's Kravan.
So tell me, why are we leaving Mortal Kombat for next time?
Have a think about it.
There are younger children present that are not in a position where they can be watching, and the idea behind doing Mortal Kombat was the game would actually be playing in the background.
Yeah.
And we can't have that tonight.
And
that will be next time.
And when I actually do the recording, I can
And I feel,
I can edit up for any bits.
passion, I feel, when Matt's actually playing.
Yeah.
Whereas
no,
my love
fair.
for Final Fantasy doesn't require me to play Final Fantasy to love Final Fantasy. So, you know, I guess I'm just better than he is at that.
Excuse me?
You heard. You heard.
Shots fired.
Okay, well, you know, in that case...
But yeah, no, we're gonna go through it. Look, there is a lot of history to Final Fantasy, and I doubt we will cover all of it. I doubt we even know truly all of it.
Oh,
but,
no, I don't want that one. No, don't do that one.
Yep, right, okay, I won't do that one then.
No. Sorry, no, it wasn't you.
But for me personally, I mean, I think from my starting point, if you're going to talk Final Fantasy, has to be, I can't, for the life of me, I can't remember the exact year. I think, top of my head, 02, 03. A young Nixon went over to a friend's place. The PS2, I believe, had just come out. And young Nixon goes over to a friend's place who's still on the PS1, and he sees him playing a game, an intriguing game that caught my attention. And it was Final Fantasy IX. And I was like,
oh, good on 9.
I'm going to have to give that a go, because it looked really interesting. I because of the nature of my upbringing, I hadn't actually seen 7 or 8. I really didn't know anything about Final Fantasy. And then I got my hands on a copy of 9, and dude, I was hooked. Absolutely hooked.
See, for me, it was actually by accident. Because what it was... Well, because what it was is... I say accident, but it was... It was one Christmas we went to visit, that Glyph and I went to visit our dad, and he got us a game for PlayStation because he knew we had a PS2, and he got us Final Fantasy VIII.
Oh,
he got us
random pickup.
Yeah, he just randomly got us that for I think that's what he got me, and I think he got Michael Metal Gear Solid.
Metal Gear.
And he was a fool.
Yeah, the fact that he got you Final Fantasy VIII makes me question whether or not your dad really loves you.
Well, I didn't even know what it was.
We'll get to that. Oh, we'll get to that.
Yeah, no, that's a different podcast right there.
No, I meant as in we'll get to Final Fantasy VIII. Your personal issues are your own, and I'm not touching that in podcast or otherwise. Joel, what about you, man? Because I know, I mean, we all know you've got a pretty big broner for 7. What grabbed you, man? What was the moment that you picked up 7 and went, holy shit, this is the thing?
Honestly, the moment for 7 was the fact that I witnessed an older sibling playing 7, and I never understood it.
Never understood. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't understand a Final Fantasy game if you don't start it. If you're not there from the beginning. Let's face it.
Yeah, you really do have to be there for the beginning. I agree.
I mean, being such story
I watched that sibling play from the beginning, and I never understood it. Because at the time of Final Fantasy VII originally coming out, I was, what, 5?
Yeah, no. Well, you're...
He's the same age
You
as
probably-
you.
Yeah,
And it was
yeah, so
97.
Yeah, 97. So you would have been you would have been older than 5 because I was 6 in 94.
Yeah,
7 in
so
95.
I would have
You
been
would have been
barely.
9.
I would have been barely 10.
Yeah, yeah.
So let's face it. How does a 10-year-old comprehend the vastness of Final
that is-
Fantasy VII?
And that is true, man. I mean, at the end of the day, how do you? At 10 years old, it would be very hard to comprehend the magnitude of
Oh yeah, no,
Final
it's definitely
Fantasy
not
VII.
a story that's like, hey kids, play
Oh,
this.
But dude, to be honest, it's not even just the story. Now, look, I'll be the first to admit it. 7 is not my favourite, but 7 is probably the most impactful. And yeah, at the time that 7 came out, I would argue there had been nothing really like it before. There'd been 6 Final Fantasies before it, and 6 is certainly pretty epic. But 7, yeah, at the time it came out, I'd be hard-pressed to say there would have been anything really like 7 prior to that.
The fact that 7 was the first 3D.
And the size, this is a 3-disc game, it's huge.
Which back then was, yeah, big deal.
The story's so big, and at the time, I know you laugh at the original now, but back then, Joel's exactly right. You had 3D Final Fantasy had not been seen up at that point. Yeah, I definitely agree. 10-year-old, I can't imagine that. Yeah, 10-year-old really would be able to grasp the scope and the vastness of 7.
The interesting fact is, anyone who knows Final Fantasy VII knows that integral moment at the end of the first disc.
I mean, look, I
Eric
don't really
dies.
think you. I don't. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think it's really spoiler territory at this point. If you don't know it, then that's on you. Yeah, Aerith getting nailed, which
And not in a good way.
well, it lends credence to that because there had been I've played every Final Fantasy except for 11. It's the only one I have never played because I never had the ability to play it.
Oh, shit.
And I'll be honest, there's been deaths in Final Fantasies prior to 7, but there was something about that one that really did stand out.
For the record, given the fact that I first saw Final Fantasy VII when I was like 12, I did not see Aerith's death until I was about 17.
I think as well, 7... Yeah, 7, there was just something very special about 7. Whether it's your favourite or not, whether you think it's overhyped or not, there is something undeniably special about 7.
It's definitely one that stands out, and it's got the biggest. I mean, it's definitely had the most success. I guess is probably the.
Well, it's definitely 100, no question about the fact that it's had the most success and most recognition out of the whole series. That you can't argue with, unquestionably.
It's better than 8.
Yeah, but to be fair,
8 was my
to be
first.
fair, everything is better than 8. 2 is better than 8.
That's not saying that we can't take back.
Oh no,
We're
I know what I
not.
said. I know what I said. I've played through 2 and I would take 2 over 8.
We're not saying nothing we won't take
But
back.
let's be fair. 8's biggest problem, I think,
Junction system.
the junctioning system certainly just seemed like an unnecessary overcomplication. Absolutely.
They
The
definitely could have done
main
it better.
character was just an unlikable twit.
Oh my god!
And
See,
he was.
again,
And
see,
not even for the reason you're going to jump, because I know the reason you're going to jump on it, and you're not wrong. But even taking out the fact that he turned Quistis down and Quistis is hot and blah blah blah,
Christus
brass
is
tacks,
awesome.
Squall is an unlikable twit. He really
Yeah,
is. He's just
he
an
rains on everybody's.
unlikable knob.
He literally rains on
Um,
everybody's parade.
Literally rains on everybody's parade. More to the point, the story. I understand that it was like, oh, we're going to do this big epic romance, but I didn't get it. I didn't like it. It felt overblown.
Honestly, Renoa did not deserve any sort of romance.
Oh, Renoa was
whingy cow.
frustrating. I believe there was a YouTuber called Pro Jared that did a video on Final Fantasy VIII, and I 100% agree with him. You know, I'm not going to take credit for what he said, but he was absolutely right. It made no fucking sense, because 1 minute Squall had no interest in Rinoa, and then all of a sudden, oh my god, I'm madly in love with her. And it was like, well, that was left field.
I thought you liked men. I thought you and Zelda
Yeah,
were
I
thing.
thought you were into men. I thought you and Zell were what it was doing.
No, I will go one. I mean, this is probably going to be meta as hell, but I will go one better than that.
Yep.
The biggest problem with 8 is that it followed 7.
This is true. It was always going to have a very uphill battle.
Oh yeah.
But I don't think they helped themselves with the choices they made in making it either. They went too modern. Now, 7 obviously went modern. I mean, hell, who can forget the opening scene in 7 with the train and Midgar, the city itself? But it still felt like Final Fantasy to me. 8, you know, the cars, the ability to get the cars to travel between, and
the
I
fuel.
don't know, the fuel, and then all of a sudden, you know, you can fly Balam Garden around, and I was like, okay.
it was definitely a more modern fantasy.
The overworld did not feel as big or as epic as what came before, nor what came after, if I'm being honest.
Which, to be fair, is what made 9 better than 8. The fact that
definitely.
There was a few things
9
made 9
went
better than 8.
back to
VV.
the roots.
Oh,
Like,
and in
me
every
personally,
way.
A pro tag with a personality helps.
Well, that's
No,
a good start.
me personally, I like 9 better than 8, but I don't like 9.
I love 9, man. I got nothing but time for 9.
I do
really
like
do.
9.
From the story to the style, like the art style.
I mean, the characters.
The one thing that does give me pause on 9, the duel system was a little annoying with regards to how you know, with the weapons.
Amen.
And the other
Materia
thing,
is so much better.
yeah, look, credit where it is due. 7's Materia system has got to be uncontested as far
Yeah,
as
but the thing
one of
is,
the most
though-
simple systems to operate.
Yeah,
and
but
yes, I know what you're going to say, that it removes the uniqueness from the characters.
No, it
Again,
doesn't.
Not
Yes,
wrong.
it does.
It
No, it
removes
doesn't.
it doesn't remove their personalities, but it does remove a certain level of uniqueness from their capabilities.
No, it doesn't.
You can make
I
anybody
see,
a
yes.
white mage. You can make
yeah,
anybody.
you can make anybody a white mage, anybody a black mage. That's absolutely correct.
Yes, but some are better suited than others.
Yeah,
That is true. Look, you're not wrong, but it does remove, like I said, there is a certain level of uniqueness that is no longer there. That being said, it is undeniably one of the easiest systems
Oh yeah,
I
that's-
understand.
to understand and to deal with. You can't question that.
oh yeah. No, I'm
And
not,
it is
not going to deny
exactly
that.
where 8 fucked up, because 8 went so far on the opposite end of the spectrum and became one of the most complicated systems to deal with.
And
Which
yeah,
is why when my first Final Fantasy was 7, it's like, okay, I understand how this works. I understand what you give this materia to this person, they get this spell. Okay, I get it. And then you go to 8 and it's like,
Oh, yeah,
hey,
then it-
fuck it all.
Yeah, no, and look, I'm again not disagreeing with that statement. 8's ridiculously overcomplicated.
oh yeah, no. Even I'll agree with that.
Once you understand 8, it becomes very good. But you have to understand it first.
And that does take a bit of a thing.
Whereas 7, you can understand it from the start. 9, you understand it from the start. Pretty much most Final Fantasies you get from the opening tutorials.
I
Whereas
will say, the other thing I
8?
fucking hated with 8 was the system that you didn't get gil from battles anymore.
that too.
That fucking... Oh, you get an allowance based on your special forces level. I was like, fuck off.
And yeah, and when you're kind of going through things like traveling and then you get lost, you actually drop your seed rank.
And lose money.
Yeah, no, look...
Because, you know, you can't find your way around. You're an asshat.
Apparently.
I mean, at the end of the day, when you're talking Final Fantasy, it's one of those things that there are so many different. I mean, you go all the way back. You know, you go back to the very first Final Fantasy, very first one. 4 random characters, no backstories, no names, no fuck all, right? And a very confusing time travel plot that was all over the shop.
It's not really random, though. You do get to choose the classes, at least.
Oh, you choose their classes, but they're completely... There's nothing you need. They're just 4 characters that exist in that moment.
Nothing ties them together.
There's really very little story in the first... Brilliant game. Love the first one, but very little story. Then, of course, you go to the second one, we got the story. And we've got a leveling up system that's best left in the past.
No one talks about Final Fantasy 2.
Then, of course, you go to 3. And we bring in the job system. But, of course, the job system is not perfected till 5. So each one brought something different to the table. It was just whether or not that something was better or worse.
I mean, the Gunblade was awesome.
100%. Gunblade was a pretty cool weapon.
And honestly, the chain at the end of it would be perfect to put a materia in.
It would, yeah. Missed opportunity. But, you know, I mean, it just... Like anything, man, it's a series that it has its highs and it has its lows. And unfortunately, its lows, Final Fantasy 2, are low.
And 8.
And 13.
I'd see. I don't know anything about that, but it sounds like I've dodged a bullet.
13 is, yeah.
Isn't that horrible person that you keep beating us in Dissidia?
Okay.
That is, yes.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate and say I kind of enjoyed 13.
I didn't hate it as much as I think you're supposed to. There was a lot of vitriol around it that I didn't hate it that much. Was it definitely a rehash of 7 in some places? For sure.
Really?
Oh yeah, dude. I have 13 because I've got a PlayStation 3 still, and I play. Go back and play 7. Just play the opening of 7 and play the opening of 13. The similarities are there. 100% the similarities there. Undeniable. That being said, no. I don't necessarily think 13 was worthy of the vitriol it got. But it was a long way from good.
I mean, for sure, it wasn't the best Final Fantasy.
If I had to go bottom 3, it would be no, maybe not bottom 3, but certainly bottom 5. Bottom 3 have got to be reserved for 2. 8.
I was going to say 2.
2, 8, and the original 14 before they relaunched it.
That was the online, wasn't it?
Trash. Yeah. Oh, it's still online. But they basically ended the world and restarted the world because it was so bad. It was trash. For me, look, I'll be honest, my favourite, for a longest time it was 9, but then I played 6, and man, I fell in love with 6.
Oh, yeah.
And going back and playing 6 now, you can see where the genesis for the ideas that became 7 started in 6.
Definitely.
Honestly, I might be kind of saying something that might get me lynched by, you know, actual fans.
It might, yeah, be very careful if you're going to rag on 6, go on.
I'm not ragging on 6, but my favourite, I would have to say probably either Crisis Core or 15. But that's because...
No, look, I don't think that's too too out there
Well-
or controversial. I
Well,
don't think.
the main reason why is because, unlike you guys, I was never a big fan of the turn-based or the ATB systems for the combat. Because I grew up playing other sort of games. The combat system for me just seemed slow and kind of horrible. So 15
can understand that.
having like real-time combat, and yeah, even Crisis Core with like Zach Flair was just amazing. He was another pro tag with personality, which is rare.
He was, I will be honest, of all the Final Fantasy VII characters, because obviously they've re-released the first part, second part's coming, they re-released Crisis Core. My wife has watched me play all of them, and Zack is far and away her
Yeah.
bae when it comes to Final Fantasy VII.
When it comes to Final Fantasy 7, I think
He's
my
a
wife.
puppy dog.
Yeah, Zach the puppy. Yeah, but I think your Final Fantasy bae will always be the C word I can't say with the long white hair.
Sorry. No. Let's. Oh, right. Sorry. I thought you actually meant his name started with C for a second. I was like, what?
No.
Yeah, alright, I get it. All good.
Yeah.
And yes, the bastard.
Yeah. Sephiroth, what a prick.
But, hell of a villain. Hell of a
Oh,
villain.
I mean, he's an iconic villain. I'm not gonna lie.
Like, you think... If someone says to you Final Fantasy villain, you either think Sephiroth or Kefka.
Oh, 100%.
I don't think Kefka.
Then you're wrong.
Oh, I do think Kefka. And I think the reason Sephiroth and Kefka always come to the forefront, they're the most... They've got to be close to the most fleshed out villains in the series.
I've never played 6, so I mean, I'm assuming Kefka's from 6, right?
Kefka's 6.
Yeah.
But,
See, I've never played 6,
I don't know.
so I don't.
I feel like I don't know if Joel will agree with me here, but for me, the main reason those two other ones that are so prominent, they're I think the most fleshed out villains in the series.
See, honestly,
Really?
I would put Cypher in there.
No.
Cypher wasn't a villain though, dude.
He was a knight.
Let me clarify. The most fleshed out main villains in the series. Because Cypher
Okay.
was not supposed to be the main villain, he was just a douchebag.
My thinking is, Kefka is a mainline villain because he won.
That is true, he won. He is the only one I'm aware of thus far that actually did technically win. He ended the world.
Sephiroth, because he killed a much beloved character.
No, he didn't. He killed Aerith.
He killed
Whether you
a
like it or not,
much
Matt, Aerith is pretty beloved.
beloved character.
Yeah. Although that being said, I will be interested to see if she still dies in the remake, because that trailer had Zack rolling up on that church, and I was like, oh, this is all over the shop now.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
no,
I mean. It's all up in the air at this point.
Yeah, even I was like, okay, I've got no fuck, and you know, because Wedge also lived, I was like, I got no idea where the fuck we're going with this.
And
And I love
Biggs as
it. I
well.
love every second of it.
Biggs
But,
lives as well.
Yeah, I think he does. Yeah, I think Jesse's the only one that eats shit.
Yeah.
Oh, and she eats it by the mouthful too.
But the fact that, you know, Zack is clearly where he ought not be raises some questions.
Timey wimey shenanigans.
Biggest thing I'm looking forward to though, Chocobo customization.
That will be cool. It will be cool.
I think Flick is. I think.
Nothing to do with the story or anything, but just customizing chocobos.
I
Ain't
think
nothing
Flick.
better than putting a hat on your chocobo.
I think
Yeah.
Flick is actually looking forward to being able to pat the chocobos.
Yeah. Yep. I gotta going back to one thing you said before though, Matt. Now you said your two favourites were probably 15 and I can't remember what you said the other.
Crisis Core.
Crisis Core. Did you not feel? And I know you haven't played as much Final Fantasy, so Joel might be able to back me up. But I felt that 15 was too big. I felt they tried to put too much into 15
I mean, I
for a
haven't
Final
finished
Fantasy
it.
game.
I haven't finished it, but I mean,
What?
I haven't finished 15 because
What?
I kind of got bored of it. Because
Good point. But no, but and that exactly is my point.
yeah,
There was so much in it that it actually started to become a chore to play, and I've never had that. Even in the worst Final Fantasy games, I've never really felt like it was a
AKA
chore.
8.
Oh, mate, I still got through 8. I was a bit bored, but it wasn't a chore. But 15 started to feel like work because there was so much.
It was like
And I
a
was
public
like-
test, too much padding.
I'm the opposite. I got through 15 easier than 8.
For me, 15, I understand, because people with 13, obviously, there was a lot of complaints about the linearity of 13. But,
Yeah, but
15
13
felt like
shit.
15 felt like they overcompensated it all the way to the other end. There was too much for a Final Fantasy game. I was like, nah, I don't like how much it is in here.
13.
I don't need to go fishing.
15 overcorrected 13.
Yeah, 15 did what 8 did. It overcorrected in the wrong way. 8 did that. 8 took what happened in 7. I don't know if overcorrected is the right word with 8, because 7 didn't need correcting, but 8 went the opposite end of the spectrum to 7, and it fucked it. 15 went the opposite end of the spectrum to 13. I don't know if it necessarily fucked it is the right word, but it wasn't... It just didn't feel Final Fantasy-esque. And I will be honest,
It
the
did
fact
feel
that it opens
more
with me having to push a car,
with your boys.
yeah, like just pushing the car with the lads, I will give it that. I was like, oh, so it's Final Fantasy meets The Hangover then. Cool.
Well, didn't it play Stand By Me or something?
I think it did, yeah. I actually think it did play Stand By Me too.
I still maintain that is a great song. Just
It is a
because of that
fantastic
game.
song. It is a fantastic song, but yeah, for a brief moment I was half expecting Zach Galifianakis to pop up with some rupees and turn it into The Hangover meets Final Fantasy. I was like, where are we going with this, guys?
That would be
My
interesting.
biggest issue with
And the
15...
fact that I could turn my convertible into a monster truck was like a bit ludicrous as well.
See, I haven't even
Say
got
what?
to that. I haven't got to that bit yet.
Yeah, I got to the point where, because I got the special edition, it came with the ability, and like you could put these fucking tires on it that turns your convertible into a monster truck.
I mean,
I mean-
I turned mine into a kind of a pimpmobile because I put Cindy.
The Pimp Mobile.
I put like Cindy kind of crouching over with her massive endowments kind of peeking out
Of course,
all
you
over it.
pervert.
I mean,
Hey, my wife knows what I'm about.
I built it as an airship.
Yeah, it gets to the airship eventually, but when you first start the game, before you get to the airship point, you can
But-
make it a monster.
The fact is...
That was the other thing. I didn't like the night time when all the big shit comes out and you're fucking getting wrecked at the beginning. I was like, I understand
It's
grinding
like-
and, it's Final Fantasy, but come on.
It's like nighttime you get wrecked until you get high enough level and then you just wreck everything.
I mean, I did pretty well, but then again, I kind of, because I like the combat system, I actually trained at night.
Has anybody other than me played 16 yet?
No.
I'll take those. Yeah, 16. I'll tell you right now, 16 is a hard one to like. And I can tell you the main thing about 16 that threw me off, because the story on it, not bad. I will be honest, you can clearly see where someone has watched way too much Game of Thrones before writing the story to 16. But I think the biggest thing that killed me on 16, no overworld. You basically fast travel to different destinations on a map.
So it's
And
kind of like
they're-
similar to
they're
Dragon
self-con-
Quest.
They're self-contained areas within these areas on the map.
Well, that's very similar to Dragon Quest.
Yeah, I was less than impressed, because and it was the same problem I had when I played Stranger in Paradise, because I was like, oh, a remake of Final Fantasy 1 to a degree, that'll be kind of cool. And the complete removal of the overworld and the towns. Look, credit where it's due, at least 16 doesn't remove the towns. But they're all, like I said, it's all little self-contained areas. And I was just like, this, again, maybe I'm... I mean, hell, the name of the podcast is Grumpy Old Gamers for a reason.
Oh yeah, well,
But, for me,
This
I
is
love
not Final Fantasy.
No, I love Final Fantasy when I'm traveling between the overworld, random battles, I get into town. What gil have I got? What can I sell? What do I need to buy? What can be upgraded? All that sort of thing. And it harks back to the days of back when it was on the Nintendo and it was, you know, 3 and 4. Well, 3 wasn't actually out over here, but 4 and 6 and that kind of stuff. And even 7, you know, once you leave Midgar and, you know, you're in the overworld, and same with 8, not as well, but and 9 and all that kind of stuff. Even
8 had an
10
overworld.
Even 8 had an overworld, yeah. So for me, I'll be honest with you, 16. Was it as bad as 8 or 2? No. Did it leave me cold? Yes. I will say this though, did anyone back in the day play 10 when it first came out?
Oh, fuck
Again,
yeah.
Matt probably didn't.
I didn't play it, but I actually watched a few people play it.
I did.
An old friend of mine.
That was a fucking revelation when that came out. Holy shit,
Well,
that was such a different animal.
Well, the thing is, because I didn't play a lot of 9 at that point, but by the time I actually watched 10, I was very familiar with the GF system from 8. And then
Yeah.
when in 10, when you
10
could
was very
actually,
much about the summons, yeah.
and you could actually control the summons, like
Yeah,
as much as you could control like the other stuff, the other people. So it's
Yeah,
like,
no, for sure.
so I thought that was quite
10
cool.
Was 10 was a holy shit moment for me. I was like, they're speaking without
That's a-
speak bubbles.
I was going to say, 10 was the first voice acting.
Yeah,
Question: what do you call? How do you pronounce the main character's name in 10?
Tidus.
or Titus?
wanker.
Tidus.
It is Titus. I feel like it should be Titus.
I've always done
According
this.
to the official...
It's
Channel?
officially it's Titus.
Yeah, officially it's Tidus.
Although
I've
10
always-
did ship me. 10 made the same mistake that 9 made. There was a section in 9 where even if you didn't bother, it made you play the fucking card game. And I had no interest in the fucking card game, so having to play it pissed me off. 10 did the same thing with that
Hang on!
fucking
I'm
Blitzball.
sorry. Blitzball was the best part of 10.
To this day, and I have 10 now for the Switch, to this day, and look, I'll freely admit it, probably just me, I can't play that thing for shit. That
No,
Then
I-
you're
Blitzball,
shit.
I'll freely admit it. When it comes to Blitzball, I cannot play it for shit.
Honestly, I could never
is
do it either.
brilliant.
I could never do Blitzball either.
I will die on this hill. Blitzball is good.
I can't play it for shit.
Blitzball was the only good part of 10. And
The
if you-
Aurochs do not win the championship when I'm playing, let me tell you that.
If you ranked mini games for Final Fantasy, Blitzball would be at the top for me.
No. For you, maybe, but for the general consensus, the best mini game in Final Fantasy is
Triad
is it
Triangle.
Triple Triad from
Triple-
8
8,
is considered
yes.
the best mini game in Final Fantasy.
Well, they're wrong.
No, they're not.
Everyone but you is wrong.
Yes. I'm
I
going
like
full
Triple
Principal
Triad.
Skinner.
I like Triple Triad.
No, the children are wrong.
No, I like
I
Triple
will
Triad.
die
Triple
on
Triad
this
was
hill.
good.
Blitzball is better than Triple Triad.
And you are very,
I don't
very
really-
wrong, my friend.
I don't really play any of them. The mini games don't really hold interest to me in any of them. I will say both Blitzball and Triple Triad have got to be better than that fucking submarine in 7.
I mean, you only have to do that once, and it's like 3 seconds worth.
Or the snowboarding section in 7.
Once again, only
Or
have to do it
Chocobo
once.
Racing in 7.
Or Chocobo Racing in 7.
Chocobo
CPR
Racing is
in
fucking...
7.
Chocobo Racing is easy. If you can't do Chocobo Racing, you don't deserve Knights of the Round.
I can do it. It just bores the Christ out of me. That being said, 7 had one of the best mini games too. Slap the Christ out of Scarlet.
Yes.
That was fantastic.
I
I've
hope
been
they...
waiting on that.
That's what I say. I hope they bring that back.
Yeah, but to be fair, if it was accurate, it would not be slap Scarlet 7 or 8 times. It would be Tifa hits Scarlet once and Scarlet moves into the great beyond. Because
yeah,
let's be honest, this is a woman whose primary attack is hand-to-hand combat against, like, tank Ceratops and shit. She punches another actual human being, they're dead.
Which, once again, I would see that.
You
Oh, yeah,
get
no.
punched at full force by Tifa and you're just another person, you're dead. I
See,
don't care who
I'm-
you are.
I
That'd be a
would
king
pay
head and a half.
money to be fisted by Tifa.
Oh, I bet you would. I bet
You
you
know,
would in a way.
Fuck yeah.
Okay, here's a question.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy waifus.
Waifus.
As in, like,
Aerith.
you know, crush. Final Fantasy crush.
Aerith.
Ooh,
Aerith. I will
we
die
know
on
yours
this hill.
Yeah, I know you'll die on that hill too.
With her.
I gotta go with probably
Snow.
Snow. 100%. Gotta love Snow.
I actually do know who that is.
If I'm being honest, I'd have to go with Celis. I think.
Celis.
Yeah, I do like Celis.
Who's Celis?
She's one of the characters from 6.
Okay,
Let's face it, we all know what Mats is. Cough,
Do we?
Quistis, cough.
yeah, well. I mean,
Yeah,
Tifa's a
very
close
good
second. Tifa's a close second, if that helps.
No,
Yeah,
no, she's not.
I bet Tifa's got 2 very specific reasons that she's a close second.
3.
And they go,
okay.
and they go by left and right.
Left, right, and her fists.
Yeah, fair enough.
What are you saying? You like to be fisted?
By her,
When it
maybe.
comes to Tifa, he does.
Yeah, but then again, who doesn't?
I will have to message your wife saying your husband likes to be
All right.
fisted.
So I mean, Joel
already
straight
knows.
away, you know, as soon as he said waifu, we knew it was gonna be Aerith.
Yeah, because, you know.
Because you're all wrong.
Here's one. What is the Final Fantasy character you just can't fucking stand him? You hate him.
Yuffie.
The most annoying son
Yuffie.
bitch.
Yuffie.
Yuffie.
I wanna
Actually,
stab
to be
her in the
fair,
face.
To be fair, integrate Yuffie is an improvement.
Well, guess what? I haven't played it, so Yuffie.
Fair enough, Yuffie. Mine, hands down, Squall. Can't take him. Cannot take him.
Prompto.
Oh.
Prompto, he's the gun one?
Yeah, in 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Really?
I cannot stand him.
Why? That genuinely surprises me. I
See, he
remember
actually
him
kind
being-
of he kind of reminds me of
remember him
Zell's
being
little brother or
fairly-
something.
I just remember him kind of just being a non-event. Like, I don't really remember him being much impact at all,
See,
as
for
far as
me,
personality.
that kind of reminds me he could be Zell's little brother or something.
I mean, yeah, that might be it, but something about him, I just don't like Prompto.
Yeah, no, look, fair, man. As I said, you're entirely right.
But
That's why
honestly-
for me, it's Squall. Can't take him.
Okay.
Can't fucking take him.
I would prefer Squall over Prompto.
The most adorable character, and why is it Vivi?
I mean,
That's kind of one-sided.
no,
But
you know
am
what,
I
he's
wrong?
right. God damn it, he's right. You're either VV or you're wrong.
Or you're not adorable.
Vivi is arguably one of the greatest characters in that series ever.
I mean,
Yeah, it
Vivi
really
has, my opinion, he has a bit of a sad story.
Oh God, yeah.
100%. The story is the ending of the game when you're like, no. You knew
no.
he was going to die, but still.
No, not the ending of the game.
Oh, not the ending. Oh, okay.
Have you actually played 9, sir?
Yeah, I've played through 9.
I know exactly what you're referring to, Joel, and I fully agree. The fact that his grandfather was raising him just to eat him.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, but, you know.
Argue that, sir.
I
To be
mean,
fair, at the end of the day, his grandfather didn't eat him, and he died anyway. So I find that more sad.
At which point, I would argue, should Vivi be more of a blue mage than a black mage?
What
no,
does
because
self-destruct do?
Quinn is clearly the mage in that.
That's what I mean. The fact that he was raised by a Quina, would
That's
that
true.
have made him a blue mage?
Speaking of weird grandparents and parents in Final Fantasy, did it occur to nobody at some point, any point really, to I think it's a gold needle to cure petrification for Red 13's old
No.
man.
Soft. A soft.
Soft, yeah. Did no one think to try a soft on Red 13's old man?
Apparently not.
I believe I shall refer you to
Team Forster.
TFS's
I
Team
have watched
Forster.
Final Fantasy Abridged, and
Yeah.
that was
My
that whole
son's an
scene
idiot.
that whole scene had me
Yeah.
almost pissing myself.
Yeah, no, even
I will live for you, Father. My son's an idiot.
yeah, but then again,
I
then again,
will
also
refer
with-
you to that.
but also the whole Eris thing, the Eris thing
Yes, but
going,
outside the
Phoenix down.
parody aspect of it, I just don't understand. Like, yeah, you know, we got soft, right?
Honestly, I feel this may be an unpopular opinion, but I feel like TFS did a better Aerith death scene than the
Actually,
original.
No,
yeah. Look.
she
but
got
then
done both, so that's
again-
fine.
No, but then again, TFS had an advantage that the original didn't have. They had voice
Hindsight.
acting. No, hindsight. They also had voice acting to really get the emphasis across.
No, it wasn't the voice acting. It was just each bounce of the materia giving a different flashback.
Okay, yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
all right. I can't. Yeah, no, good point. Fair play. Fair play.
Like, that for me was like, fuck, I have to turn this off and go drink for a while.
I'm not going to say anything to that.
Although, to be fair, if you're talking sad Final Fantasies, I actually think for me, one of the most heartbreaking things in Final Fantasy is not one of the games. Fucking Advent Children, dude.
Oh, I can't stand that movie. It's so long and boring.
I love Advent Children.
Now, I believe as much as you're the host of this podcast, you can just fuck off right now.
He's right, I'm with him on this, man. He's right. Fuck you if you don't like Advent Children.
And you know what? I don't like Advent Children, so no.
That's because I'm
Bye.
guessing you prefer a 2-hour movie of Final Fantasy VIII all about squalls standing there going,
Well, let's not go crazy here.
No, he's all about a 2-hour movie of Squall going, I don't like women.
yeah, probably.
And then the most annoying one who comes into the game and goes, "Ooh, I like that one."
Yeah, well, apparently, yeah. But no, Advent Children, unpopular opinion here, I don't know if anyone other than me ever played it, I quite like Dirge of Cerberus as well.
Yeah, see, I actually like Dirge of Cerberus.
I
Never
enjoyed
played
Dirge
it.
of Cerberus.
You know,
It was different, but
it was a
it
nice
wasn't
spin-off
bad.
though.
It was
But
a
then
good
again,
idea. As far as spin-offs went, I thought it was one of the better ones.
I mean, I do like the idea of Vincent as a spin-off.
yeah, well, because
Because
normally
there's
it's
been
all
a-
swords and stuff, and this one was actually
Well,
about
because the other
guns.
thing as well, there's been spin-off, you know, for as good as I thought Dirge of Cerberus was as a spin-off, the opposite end of the spectrum, X2 was a pile of shit as a spin-off. I
didn't
hated
li-
X2.
I like X2.
Oh, yeah, but your reasons for liking X2 are not valid.
Hang on, I'm going to create an argument here.
Oh
There you go.
yeah.
By all
I
means.
I prefer X2 over Lightning Returns.
No, that's not an argument. That's just facts, really.
I'm-
Lightning
I'm-
Returns is bullshit
I mean,
garbage.
I'm just gonna go yeah,
No, Lightning Returns is bloody terrible.
right.
And yeah,
Have you
I
not
will say
played
though,
it?
I quite liked 13-2.
Yeah.
13-2 I thought was not a bad game, but Lightning
Thir-
Returns was unnecessarily, and it was just terrible.
13-2, I appreciated. Lightning Returns was just fuck off.
Oh yeah, Lightning Returns was trash baggery.
I
On the
tried
highest
it.
level.
I'll give you an argument right now. I would rather sit down and play Final Fantasy 2 than X2.
I mean, your argument for why I like X2 is not invalid.
Yeah, I know. You know
Oh.
it. Yeah.
I'll go one better than that. I would rather play X2 than 8.
No, I think I'd still take 8 over X2.
Nah, I'd take X2 over 8. Easy.
8 had enough to make me get it over X2. Just.
Yeah, no.
Although
See-
I find it sad that if you actually then go and play, a little bit off topic, but not quite, go and play the first Kingdom Hearts, turns out Squall doesn't always suck.
I know, right?
At least
Yeah,
not when
yeah.
he's voiced by David Boreanaz.
Yeah, but let's face it, they had to take him out of the franchise to make him suck less.
At least if he is voiced by David Boreanaz, Squall is bearable.
I mean, I like Leon.
You're not to shout. You're inside. You're not outside. In
But you know, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just Kingdom Hearts was, I always thought, was an interesting concept. Really,
Honestly,
Final Fantasy meets Disney.
Kingdom Hearts counts as Final Fantasy.
I'm not saying it doesn't. Again, I thought it was an interesting concept. I just
Oh, I
the
really
one
like
thing
it.
that I could never get behind with Kingdom Hearts was, and look, it's going to sound stupidly obvious when I say it out loud. I felt like it was too kiddish for me. But again, to be fair, it's Disney, so that's also, I will freely admit, that's a retarded argument.
Yeah, but then again, you've also got the Sephiroth boss.
That I will also say for a game that throughout, because I've played through all of them. The first game especially, for a game that the whole way through was kind of a walk in the park and really childish, that end boss was a bastard. Oh, that Kingdom Hearts 1 end boss was just a mean prick.
I just want to let we're at the 15 minutes left mark.
Fair enough. Are we going to we're going to two-part it?
We can if you like.
Well, I think we're making good time.
For the record, I would just like to notify everyone that I have been told to quieten down.
Aww. One day one day we'll have money and we'll just buy a barn and podcast out of a barn.
A barn.
A barn. We'll raise a barn.
I have been told by my lovely other half that I should quieten down.
Yeah, I
Well,
did hear
let's not
that.
argue with that. Yeah, I think we all heard that.
They all
Did
heard
you
that, by the
play-
way.
Did you play Kingdom Hearts, Joel? Was that one you played?
I have played all three. Main
Yeah,
games.
I have too. I played the main three games.
Am I right? Or am I wrong in saying that the Kingdom Hearts 1 final boss was a bastard compared to the rest of the game?
Oh, fuck yeah.
That
What,
it was
Ansem?
the difficulty curve on the final boss in Kingdom Hearts 1 was such a huge fucking turn into the difficulty that like the rest of the game had not had.
Well,
Not
you actually had difficulties with it?
So
Not
throughout
s-
the entire of Kingdom Hearts 1, never had a problem, and then that final boss just air-holed me for hours. Took me to beat.
honestly-
Not so much the final boss, just the fact that once you got past the first 2 or 3 stages, if you lost, you had to go back to the start.
Oh yeah, well that, as I said, that alone was, but if I remember correctly, and I will admit it's been a little while, the thing that was air-holing me so bad, because it was so reliant on the dodge mechanic, that final boss, and I
Yeah.
hadn't really had to worry about the dodge mechanic up to that point, honestly. I really hadn't. I really hadn't. I had not found that I'd had to use it very much up to that point, so I really had no practice using the dodge mechanic under pressure.
Well, that
And yeah,
sounds like a you problem.
Oh, dude, I'll freely admit, man, that final boss in Kingdom Hearts 1 cornholed me. He made me his cellmate in prison by the time he was done. And he had the top bunk, don't you doubt it.
And some Bubba.
Oh, mate, that, as I said, I just remember being like, this game, up to this point, has been a walk in the park. This is a massive difficulty spike.
See, I never actually had any problems with him.
Oh,
But-
yeah, no, he air-holed me.
But I guess because the real-time combat is different, I guess.
Yeah, look, and again, I am different to you in that sense, Matt. I have always had a soft spot for the ATB system. I like
Yeah.
the ATB system. I really do. I can sit down and play any, including 2 and 8, of the first 10, and the ATB system. Well, to be fair, the ATB system is not in
In
1,
2.
2. I can't
But that's
remember.
actual-
I don't think it's in 3 either. I think the ATB doesn't come until 4. But the
Yeah.
system in 1 through 3 is obviously the turn-based system, so it's similar. Yeah, the first 10 and the combat systems, I've never really had any issues with them. I
Yeah,
quite enjoy that
'cause-
style of play.
4 is where they make the joke. What are you doing? Why are you hitting them? Because it's not my turn.
Yeah. You spoony bard!
And that too.
Actually, credit where it is due, and again, I will freely credit this to Pro Jared, because his Final Fantasy videos are brilliant, and anyone that even has the slightest bit of interest in Final Fantasy, I would recommend highly watching them. I love when
hidden
he's
plug.
going through... He is going through the different classes and things in various, and he's like, the Dragoon can jump high, and the Warrior can do this, and the Mage can do that, and the Bard can get the fuck out of my party. And I'm like, yes, he can.
The sad part is my D&D game currently has a bard in the group.
Oh, that's terrible. I've never played a Final Fantasy where I'm like, yay, a Bard.
No, I have to say,
What?
D&D has gone the polar opposite. Bards are bullshit in D&D.
Oh, I remember the first time I played
The
4 and I
Final
got
Fantasy?
Edward.
Yeah, Edward can fuck right off.
Because the first time I actually played 4, I did not play the original 4 first. I actually played the 3D remake of 4 first. And all I remember is like first time I got Edward, trying to figure out what he does, and I'm like, what the fuck do you do? Why are you here? What do you bring to the table? Like, I can't get you the fuck out of here quick enough. Forget grinding. Let's just advance the story so you go. And then it was exactly like the animated in a parody nutshell. You know, they're coming back at the end and he's like, I'm here too. And I'm like, yay, Edward's here. Like, he was just terrible. Oh, Bard. Yeah, no, Bard can definitely get right the fuck out of my party.
That is one discrepancy between... Because
So is
I don't
the-
know if anyone else agrees, but I feel like Final Fantasy did lean a lot on D&D.
Oh, 100%. At least the originals did.
Most fantasy RPGs, I think, probably would.
I think it came a little more into its own later on, but no question, the first 3 Final Fantasies wear their D&D inspirations on their sleeve, dude.
They wear
straight
bow
up.
ties.
Is it 2 or 3 that actually had spell slots?
I think 1, 2, and 3 all have spell slots. 1 and 3 certainly have spell slots. 2, I haven't played it in a while, but I'm pretty sure 2 had. No, 2 I think did have an MP system, but you could only learn a limited number of. You could only learn a limited number of spells, but it was more spells per character than 1 and 3.
I thought 1 was MP. I didn't think spell slots came in until 3.
No, 1 is 100% spell slots. 100%.
Right.
1 and 3, 100% their spell slots. 2, you buy the tomes or you find the tomes, and then each character, pretty much any character in 2 can learn any spell. They can learn up to, because quite a fair number. I played the Pixel Remaster a little while ago, and they can learn something like 15, 20 spells, I think, each, and it pretty much, as they level up, their MP levels up.
So, spell slots.
But 1 and 3, 100% they were spells, because you could only have like 3 level 1 spells. And of the 3 level 1 spells you had, they didn't, like later on in the games, obviously if you cast Cure, it's, 6 MP to cast. 1 and 3, it was if you've got Cure as one of your level 1 spells, you have 4 level 1 spells you can cast. Doesn't matter which one it is, once you've cast 4 spells, your level 1's finished, until you sleep.
Okay, so that was spell slots.
Yeah, so 1 and 3, 100% spell slots.
I thought it wasn't until like 3 or 4 that spell slots came in.
No, spell slots were right there in the first.
So once again, gaining their influence from D&D.
Oh, sure, like I said, you can tell the first 3 absolutely wear it on their sleeve. You can clearly see that they were like, how do we make D&D into a video game?
And yet it took until 2023 for Larian Studios to do it properly.
Interesting side note, had Final Fantasy 1 not been successful, all those other games from Square and Square Enix that we like would not exist.
Well, like Dragon Quest and that.
Yeah, would not exist. So my understanding of it was, when they made Final Fantasy 1, they were on the line of, we're done.
That's why it's their Final
make
Fantasy.
This was their make or break moment. Now, no, it was not why they called it Final Fantasy. It was originally, I believe, supposed to be called Fighting Fantasy, and that was already taken.
I believe that's a myth.
The fact they're about to go out of business.
Yeah.
Could be. I'm not saying it's 100%, but that is certain. I've heard the myth that Final Fantasy is pretty much what saved their ass.
Yeah, it's a myth. The fact that...
Hang on a second.
Oh, hang on. We're going to commercial break.
Yeah, we're going to commercial break. And so it will be a multi-parter, so stick around for part 2.